right. Let's get it started. Oh, man. I am not feeling great, but we got to get back on the horse. We got enough Dayquil in us now. We finally got an actual freaking good night's sleep. Yesterday was horrible. My voice is almost back, or pretty much back. What up? Holy moly, man. What up, Delton, man? I am freaking run down. Somebody I drove this week had a cold or something. Now I got it. But you know, it is what it is. Let's get back into it. We got to get these power rankings up before the week's end, before the games. Let's do a quick live recalculation before we get right into it. Here we go. Well, what's going on, guys? Well, I don't even have my lights on. Hold on. Well, at least turn that one on. No, I need the other one too. Oh. How's it going, Delton? How are you this morning? It's time to seize the day. Holy crap. I feel like a bag of smashed, I don't know if I can say buttholes. We used to say that all the time in high school. How come nobody says it anymore? That light, I don't even know. I look orange. What is going on? Are the lights not pointed properly? Whatever. It's good enough. Morning, Delton. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Purple and Gold Bar Show. I do apologize. This week has been hectic. Had a lot of work to start the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays are usually my busiest days of the week for work-wise. And then I was not feeling well. Had my girlfriend's birthday dinner on Wednesday, so had to prioritize that, of course. But we're back at it today. We're gonna drink a ton of Dayquil today, and we're gonna get a bunch of lives, some uploads up today to make up for this week. And I do apologize for everybody, but let's get into it. Healing from the conflict. Yeah, it's been rough, man. Oh, man. That's the one thing when you're, I guess you could say, front-facing customer service, because I run a small car service, right? So I'm constantly seeing new and same faces, because I got some recurring clients, but sometimes you can't even tell. I can't even remember who I drove to. This sounded sick, or it might have even just been at freaking the restaurant, or just out shopping or something. You know, it is that time of year in Canada. It's cold AF, and everybody's getting sick right now. So I feel like I can't even get into like my energy, you know, but that's okay. We're going to get through it. We got to recalculate these power rankings. Let's pull down all the teams that need desperate recalculation. Let's see here. Let's start putting these teams where they need to go. Let's see here. Man, what a close game between the Patriots and the Bucks, man. Let's see what we got. These might be 12. Kansas City. Oh, they had a bye. Can they move up on a bye? No, we'll see. But we need to figure out. So I want the Colts here at 5 still. I'm still not sure where they need to be. It's one of those teams. It's where I put the Chiefs earlier in the season, because I was like, I don't want to put them at the top of the list and then have them lose badly, which they did, and then be like, oh, well, I'm sorry for putting him at number 1. And then the same thing happened with the Colts, and then they put him at number 1, and then they went and lost really badly to the Steelers. So as of right now, I'm going to leave him there at 5. Maybe we move him up to 4. I think that'd be reasonable. They barely beat the Falcons, man. The Falcons aren't a good team either right now. They're Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde like our team. And the Eagles are extremely flawed, guys. Like I've been saying, the Eagles, the freaking Packers, Who else is the Bills, Broncos, Ravens? Like they're just flawed teams, man. There's like no front runner. There's absolutely no front runner. But yeah, let's see if we can find some good spots for these guys. What do you guys say? So I think we can leave Seattle at number 1 right here. Did they have a bye week last week? No, they beat, who'd they beat last week? I can't even remember. Oh yeah, the Cardinals. They stomped them. Normally the Cardinals play them really close. I don't know what happened there. Even when they have one win, they're in a 1-win season, they still manage to steal one from them from time to time. It's really weird. Yeah, the Eagles, man. When they made all those trades at the deadline, I was like, if this isn't a sign for people to realize that there is a lot wrong in that building, I don't know what people are smoking. You know, I quit smoking weed in the off season, and I'm really happy for it. Actually, as fun as it was, it's definitely it sucks. But anyways, I just don't know what they're on when it comes to the Eagles. Like I think I said in the power ranking or in the picks live where I said I don't think they're the 2023 Eagles where they're about to lose out and, you know, miss the playoffs or something like full like wheels falling off. But I don't think they're the 2024 Eagles where they're just so dominant. And I think they're somewhere in between where I think they're a really good team. They're flawed. They're going to have a good playoffs. I just don't know how deep of a playoff run they're going to have because of the issues that they have specifically in the trenches. What's going on, Chris? Good morning, buddy. Yeah, man. Hey, the Cardinals freaking Kyler Murray experience is absolutely a failure. We can definitely agree to that. That's what happens when you trade identity and replace it with impatience and panic, right? They probably should have ran the course with Josh Rosen, even though what a big what if Josh Rosen is, right? Like he never really had a chance. He had that smear of bust put on him really quick and he just never was able to do anything. I don't know if he would have been good, let's be real, but could he have become a competent starter, middle of the pack, from like 15 to 20 level, not great, but a guy that can, help a resurging team be consistent while they're building, you know what I mean? I don't think he had the ability to put the cape on. I think he had a lot of flaws as well, but he was developmental. He needed time to develop and they didn't give it to him. And then they panicked. They drafted Kyler Murray in the whole wake of we need to get mobile quarterbacks in, this guy's Russell Wilson 2.0. He's small like him. He's got a big arm. He just doesn't have the intangibles that Russ had at the beginning of his career. So, man, I really hope our Vikings don't make that mistake. We need to let it run its course. Definitively no. I think what we're seeing right now from JJ, I think he's going to definitely earn next year. And I'm really hoping that all the lessons that he learns this year contribute to next year's success. Because I don't know about you. You guys have been, I'm still wearing my freaking shirt. I'm so worried. I just put on a hat. Oh man, it's okay. We gotta get into it. But anyways, like when you take on something new, like you start playing pickleball or whatever it is, you start playing golf, you know what I mean? Like it's something that I started doing in the off season last year. I started playing golf for the first time. And I really enjoy it actually. It's definitely like I was a competitive athlete growing up, so I miss being able to compete. And it's not like I'm competing against anybody. I'm competing against myself in the previous version of myself. So I like that, being able to set goals and progress through things, right? Every round of golf, I hit a shot that it's like borderline amazing. And I'm like, holy moly. And I get super excited. But then there's so many other shots that I just crap the bed. Let's be real. But in those shots is where I find improvement. You know what I mean? I go, oh, I'm never going to make that mistake again. Or I choked up too much. Or, in chip shots, I leaned on my back shot on my back foot instead of my front foot, like Phil Mickelson says, as you're supposed to do, right? When every single time I go to the driving range and I'm hitting my driver is the most inconsistent club in my bag right now. I really like irons because I'm more consistent with them. But whenever I get a really good drive and it sounds like a gunshot, like when that ball gets hit and it sounds like on the driving range and everybody looks over to me, I'm like, ooh, I think I did good that time. And then I look up and it's like, almost 250 yards. I'm like, ooh. But all the ones where I hooked them, I sliced them, I chunked them, I realized in that moment, oh, I did this, I did that. And I remind myself, don't do that again. And it creates more of growth. So I'm hoping that all the mistakes that JJ experiences this year is one of those are galvanizing for him, where he's like, okay, definitely not going to be doing that. This is the reason why I got to get the ball out. This is why. And when the things that do go right, it's like when he made that pass to Jalen Naylor, it's like, this is the reason why I have to pick my spot. I have to be confident on my accuracy and put it where it needs to be, and then let the receiver go. Stop second guessing. You know what I mean? So, and just grow. Just like last year. Last year, man, we probably should have lost 6 games that we just pulled out of the fire. Total team comeback wins, some through Sam Darnold's play, and then some through the whole team. But they were able to learn from that. That's why we fight so hard this season. That's why we're always in games. And that's something that you have to develop as a team that wants to be good in the playoffs in the late part of the season, because that's when everybody's going to be injured. That's when you're going to get punched in the mouth. That's when adversity is going to hit. And we face so many of those situations that a lot of people have to spend years and years going to the playoffs and experience them in order to get that experience to try to work on it, right? We got the gambit of it last year, which is why I think we're such a competitive team, even though our record doesn't reflect it, right? We just got to be better at completing and being more effective at execution, right? But enough of the Vikings. I can talk about them forever. Let's get back to the power rankings. I realize that I'm veering off track here. It's probably because I'm all hazy and the Dayquil is getting the better of me. But I think hands down the 2 best teams right now are the Seattle Seahawks and the Patriots. It's unreal how good these teams are right now. I think we could flip them back and forth. The Rams are looking freaking solid. I think I'm going to bring them up here 3rd, maybe 4th, depending on who I pick here. The Colts are in the Broncos are in this same situation where I'm hesitant to put the Eagles up higher until I've seen more than 10 points. More than a half of football, more than a quarter. Like, man, I've been saying, how is this team supposed to be a Super Bowl contender when you got -4 passing yards one game, 0 passing yards the second half of another game? There are flaws. I don't think they're a bad team. I just think they're working on stuff. Like Delt said, their trenches are freaking a mess, especially at the O-line. Mekhi Becton, man. You put the Rams above the Pats. Experience-wise, do you think that experience plays a big factor there? Because if it's experience, then yes, absolutely. It's just incredible to see what Drake May is doing in his year 2 step here. Compared to all the struggles that he had last year. Hey, a good example of when a young rookie quarterback has to go through the fire and learn through those mistakes, and how he's doing so well in his 2nd year of development, right? So you've convinced me, Del. Let's put them there. Let's put these 3 here. Top 3 teams, hands down. Let's put those guys there at the moment. Do we put... I think we can put the Lions here at 4. Because I feel like these 3 teams right here, 4, 5, and 6, we could easily flip them at any point. Let's be real. You can't lose to a developmental team in a transition year in really bad fashion against our Vikings and be expected to be a top 3 team. There's definitely flaws there. There's problems that have to be made or that have to be fixed. And I think it's just an organizational thing. It stems down from ownership and upper management, president of football operations. I like their coach. I think Dan Campbell really earned my respect, even more so, solidified to the point where I'm willing to say that I respect him as a coach now after I watched the press conference after we beat them. because he took full responsibility. He said all the right things that I want to hear. Maybe it's because I am very much in the Patriots kind of way of speaking to the media. I'm a Patriots kind of guy. I watched the Patriots, even though they weren't a favorite team of mine. I didn't even really respect them, to be honest. But in college, everybody used to freaking just dunk on me, drop 50s on me every single time when we played Madden. And I got really sick of it. So I think it was '07, where I just watched nothing but Patriots football, and I just try to analyze what they were doing. I learned how to read defenses, how to use motion to identify whether they're in man versus zone, and then figure out whether they're in cover 2, cover 3, cover 4, whatever the situation was, and then based on that, I know what routes I needed to call or needed a hot route in order to beat the coverage, right? And during watching a lot of their press conference and stuff, I just kind of I like that. I'm a marketer by background, right? My bachelor's in commerce, so marketing speak is essentially what the Patriots do. So I like it. So when he spoke like that, it made me feel like, hey, this guy's pretty decent, right? So I like him. The Colts are a bit of a conundrum to me. Like you struggle against the Falcons. I get the Falcons are 1 week they look really good. 1 week they put up 0 points. They're a team in progress, just like we are. They're just they're just suffering from different things. They suffer more with inconsistency than we do, but it's weird to see the Colts, such a supposedly front runner team, struggle against a team that should handily beat. What's going on, Michael? Definitely SKOL, brother. And then the Eagles, man, like we were talking about here earlier with Delt here. Yeah, they're struggling in the trenches, offensive line. They're missing Mekhi Becton, and I think their their trade deadline trades signal to me that there's more than just freaking smoke there, and I'm willing to see how they learn, because this is the type of adversity that if you overcome, it might solidify your team to where they're dominant at the end of the season into the playoffs. So interesting. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's still up in the air with these 3 teams. So that's why I'm going to keep these 3 here. After that, I'm going to put the Broncos there. Then the Chargers. Who's going to round 9 and 10 out? Who's going to round 9 and 10 out? Let's go Bills. Let's go Bucks. And then let's do this for the top 12, because I like to do a top 12, because I want to keep in mind the 2 teams that are kind of like nipping at the butt of the top 10 teams, that at any point these guys go on a run and they could easily be well in the top 10. So oh man, all these guys, I don't know, man. Everybody's so flawed this season, man. It's such a weird season. This is by far the hardest, the worst season for picks that I've ever had. I do a weekly picks thing at this local pub where we all put in $20 and make our picks, and then whoever wins at the end gets the pot, right? And usually I win it like once or twice a season, and I'm usually pretty close for the most part. I struggle at the beginning of the season because it's hard to judge how teams are going to come out the gate, and then sometimes in the late in the season, depending on my fandom gets the better of me sometimes, and I start to pick some upsets in order to try to steal the win. You know what I mean? Try to get like a perfect score and steal the pot. But this week, it feels like every week, sometimes I'm really close, and then sometimes I'm really off. And I think it goes to the saying of, how unstable this season has been. Every single team is suffering from a lot of things, whether it's injury, whether it's inconsistencies, the inability to be I already said inconsistency, so consistent, same thing twice. But anyways, they're just a lot of teams are just flawed in ways that we haven't really seen in a long time. Del, do you remember the last time a season felt this like up in the air, where every week it almost feels like half the top 10 teams can literally drop down a division? Like, I honestly don't know. It's really rough. It is a really rough season. We're going to round up. We'll put Green Bay here. We'll put the Vikings there. San Fran. No, let's put. I don't know if, man, San Fran's injuries, man, they're freaking hard to analyze a team. 2020? Oh, pandemic year. I totally try to like remove that from my memory because that was a rough year. You're right. That year was terrible. Terrible. Man. Let's see here. Let's reanalyze. I think the top three, I think we're good here. I don't think anybody would be upset with any of these three, and I think anybody can argue, give a good argument for LA, Seattle, or the Patriots to be number one. I just don't know, but I know they're a good team. It's like I just don't know whether I can put them higher. I just know they're good teams. I just don't know how flawed they are and how this is going to affect the rest of the season. Broncos, the record is what keeps them higher than most. Bills, man, what do you say about the Bills? But I feel like these four teams right here, we could flip-flop them around, and I don't think anybody would be upset. The Chargers definitely impressed me last week because I thought they were going to struggle a lot more. We're going to see this week, right? Because, when we brought in Cam Robinson last year after Darisaw went down, we had some good games with him, and we also had some bad games with him where, situational stuff or inconsistencies, right? Because he wasn't as good as Darisaw reared their ugly heads. So are they going to be able to play at that same level? Is he going to be able to produce at a level that they need to the entire way through? So I feel like that's a good spot. I think any one of these spots would be okay with them. The Steelers are in a situation where, you know what I mean? Like, man, I just don't know. And the Bucks are 6-3. You know what? I think I have to move the Ravens down when I look at it. I think I have to bring the Packers up one, if I'm not mistaken here. Even though they're freaking so flawed right now, I just don't know if they deserve to be in that 13 and the 24 section. And these teams are basically a toss-up. Let's be real. I really like the Giants. Texans, maybe we can move up a little bit. Let's flip these two here. Is anybody worth bringing up out of the bottom? Cardinals have made their way to the top of the bottom, at least. I don't think beating the Bills is going to be worthy of bringing them up to the top, but maybe we can flip-flop here because I don't think Jaden Daniels is coming back this year. And I do think that the Cardinals, despite their loss, are a better team than, and because of that, let's put them there then, because the Cowboys are hot garbage right now. Yeah, there we go. I think we're going to leave it there, guys. It's interesting. I think this is gonna shake up. This weekend's gonna shake up a lot of things as well. The Bears over the Packers. What's the Bears' record? 6-3. They're both flawed in totally different ways. But you convinced me. You convinced me, Del. I like the way you think, man. I really do like the way you think. And they're just flawed in different ways. The Bears team tend to play down to their opposition, and when they play good teams, they just can't elevate. The Packers, man. What is going on? What is going on over there? I don't hear anybody calling for Mike or Matt LaFleur to be relieved of his play calling duties or getting fired, despite putting three of the exact same play 3 times in a row in the red zone. I think 2 weeks ago now. You know, which the hypocrisy is outstanding. Yeah. Let's do this, actually. Let's put these guys on the outside looking in. They've done enough. They've done enough, actually. Steelers are still a conundrum, but I think they're slightly better than these 3. But I feel like they might just fall off this list. And the Ravens might pull in here if they can string together some wins here. Kansas City, I have a feeling they're going to lose. Yeah, absolutely. Man, Mike Tomlin. What do you, Delt? Do you think they're going to move on from Mike Tomlin? I know the last couple years, that's been the narrative that it's a potential thing that they might be looking at moving on from him. But he's always got a winning record, and he always seems to have. But they just they haven't been able to commit to a rebuild. We've never seen him rebuild a team. Oh wait, would we consider him rebuilding a team when he came on? Because he took over for Bill Cowherd, right? And Bill Cowherd, his teams were pretty good too. Interesting, man. What a weird season this is. Absolutely freaking weird. I'm not confident with anybody in the top 12. Let's be real, except for the top 3. Yeah, from the top 3 down, from 4 down. Honestly, at any point, we could from the 1:00 game to the night game, we're gonna be like, all this is gonna be rewritten. I can guarantee tomorrow I'm gonna be like, holy crap, I was wrong about this team, I was wrong about that team. Ah, man, very weird. Yeah, I know. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, the Steelers are a really, really weird situation. They're too far into where they are, where you can't just like tear it all down because you don't have personnel, you don't have the stuff to be able to start a full-on rebuild. What's going on, Mary? I absolutely think so. If you're just a straight football fan, it has been absolutely incredible. If you take your team out of it and you're just like, man, every week we got some awesome games, some awesome upsets, some wild shockers. So if you're into that, it's been fantastic. And again, sorry for not being so active this week. I have definitely struggling. Been busy with work, and my girlfriend's birthday dinner was on Wednesday, and then I've been pretty run down the last 2 days. I am hopped up on Dayquil today. I'm gonna just chug through it and get a bunch of uploads done today to make up for the week. And we're just getting this power rankings done now. Normally we do it on Wednesday. That's how bad it's been, but it's great to see you, Mary. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely, Delton. So it's like, what do you do? What do you do with that team? It's hard to justify one way or another. That's why they just stuck in limbo, and they're just who they are. But I think we did good with what we are at right now, considering the situation, and having to do a power rankings on Saturday morning at 8:30 in the morning. Good gravy. But yeah, it's a freaking fun season. We'll say that. But I hope you guys having a great day. We will see you guys on the next live here. I'm not entirely sure. It's probably going to be a hot take review. I was able to pull a bunch of segments from a bunch of sports shows this week that we're going to comment on. Not entirely on just the Vikings, just a whole bunch of stuff, because it's been an eventful week. And we'll see you guys on the next live. Take care, guys.